Today we're going to be running the lab isotopes of the Pennium. If you have not read the introduction and answered the 3 pre-lab questions, I need you to stop the video, read the introduction and answer the 3 lab questions, and then continue on. In the introduction, I do want to point out in the second paragraph, they use the term relative abundance. That's the same thing as percent abundance that we used in the practice problems from the isotope practice worksheet that you did for your virtual assignment. The relative abundance is just meaning that it's a fraction. I like to turn the fractions into decimals or percents. I find them easier to work with. So anytime you see relative abundance in this lab, think of percent abundance. It's the same thing. So let's hit upon the pre-lab discussion before you run the lab. The first question, what do the 20 pennies in this investigation represent? The 20 pennies in this particular lab are going to represent the 20 different atoms of this imaginary element that you have discovered called Pennium that has the element symbol Pe. Question number 2, what do the different masses of the pennies represent? So you're going to find out or notice in the lab, there are going to be 2 distinct masses. They're not all of your pennies are going to be exactly the same mass because pennies are not perfect like atoms. And also remember, pennies are going to be in circulation. So that means that the pennies with your different masses are going to represent the isotopes that you have of Pennium. Again, you're going to see 2 distinct different masses. They're not going to be exactly the same because pennies are not perfect and they've also been in circulation. So they're going to have scratches and maybe smooth down gouges and that sort of thing. So please keep that in mind. Question number 3. What information do you need to calculate the average atomic mass for your element? Well, remember, you need to know, obviously, the average mass of each isotope and its percent abundance. I know the lab says relative abundance, but again, I like to use percent abundance. When you go into lab, you're going to find the mass of your 20 individual pennies. Please make sure that your electronic balance is set to 0 when you find the mass each time of your penny. If it's not at 0, press the 0 or tare button. Before you find the masses of your pennies, please check to make sure that you have 20 pennies total. You have 4 pennies that are pre-1982, which means they were made before 1982, and 16 post-1982 pennies, so 16 that are after 1982. Hopefully, Ms. Meyer has pulled out any pennies that were made in the year 1982, so that doesn't cause any issues. If you do not have the correct numbers, please see your sub, and your sub will have some extra pennies and they can get the correct numbers. So again, 4 before 1982 and 16 after 1982. Please be careful with the balances. Don't be adding any items to the balance or pushing down on the balance because I'm trusting that you'll take care of them and you will not break them. Okay. Everybody needs to record the masses and the years of your pennies. After you are finished, you can go on and put all 20 pennies on top of the balance and find the combined mass of all of your pennies together. And then make sure that you get a wipe to clean up your pennies, your balance, and then make sure that you wash your hands after you are finished with the lab.